Buenos dias. It is Friday, September 27th. We are leaving Pamplona this morning, headed to Saint Jean to start our Camino tomorrow.
Which is your birthday?
Which is my birthday. We spent the night here in Pamplona.
Melody got some sleep.
I finally got some sleep. I think we slept like 9 hours. But we've had our coffee and we are...
Which was about this big.
They're little.
Which is great for people like me who aren't huge coffee drinkers. Not so good for you.
I like my American size.
Grande.
Extra grande. Anyway, but yeah, we're about to walk to the bus station to get on our bus to Saint Jean.
And then no more bus, train, flying for the next month. We'll just be walking.
Yep. And we do plan on, we've had some questions about what the Camino is and exactly how we're traveling and, you know.
If we're carrying a tent.
Yeah, so we do plan on making a video with just some basic information about that.
And if you... My wife is having twisty ride problems. I told her it was the sign of aging since her birthday is tomorrow.
Arrived in Saint Jean Pierre de Port. We got off that bus that was making me feel sick. I don't usually experience motion sickness, but I was for some reason on that bus. It's quite twisty and turny.
I need my fishing pole.
It is beautiful here. I'm sure we'll get lots of shots of this place.
Told you I need my fishing pole. But we're glad to be on land, out of all the trains, buses, planes, shuttles. Oh my. I'm ready to start the Camino. What about you, dear?
Very ready.
I'm Alex. This is Melody. We are in Saint Jean Pierre de Port. We're from the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix, Arizona. And we are stepping out of our comfort zones. Not because we're getting ready to do a multi-day hike, but because we're not social media people. In fact, this vlogging thing is new for both of us. I'm someone who's never even had a Facebook account.
And I just don't like being in front of the camera.
And she doesn't like being in front of the camera. So we are here in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, France, because we are going to start the historic pilgrimage route, the Camino de Santiago, which has been a pilgrimage route for over 1,000 years. There are multiple Caminos. They start in various points in Europe. In Spain, one of the biggest starting points is right here in Saint-Jean. I did the Camino in 2017 from Saint-Jean, and during my 50 days here in Spain and France, I decided that I wanted to go back home and propose to Melody. In my proposition, I said, you plan the wedding and I'll plan the honeymoon. So we were married a few months ago, and this is our honeymoon. The timing of it is tomorrow when we start from Santiago. It's Melody's birthday. So that's another reason that we decided to do it now. In addition to the nice weather, it's probably 70 degrees here. A little bit more about the Camino. So the Camino de Santiago from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, France to Santiago de Compostela is about 800 kilometers, a little under 500 miles. There are multiple Caminos throughout Spain and France and Europe. The most popular one is the Camino Frances, which is what we're doing. I did it in 2017, like I said, and went from Saint-Jean to Santiago and then continued on to the ocean to Finisterre, which the guys in the old days thought was the end of the world. But Melody and I plan to do about 25 or so days. We hope to get to Leon or Astorga. And then we're going to come back next year, start from there, walk on to Santiago, and then to Finisterre and Murcia, which is another coastal town. So we should spend about 25 days. We were going to do it all at once, but decided to break it up into 2 years. One, it'll allow us to go a little bit slower and enjoy things. Two, Melody wouldn't have to take a big, huge chunk of time off from work. But we've been planning this for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's finally here. I'm very excited because the weather here is fantastic. Saint-Jean is at the base of the Pyrenees. We're going to go only about 5 miles tomorrow and stay in a place called Orsan. And then the next day we'll go on over the Pyrenees and stay in another place called Berget. But hang on for the ride, folks. This is going to be quite the adventure.
All right, this is the road to the Pilgrim's office. The Pilgrim's office is where you officially can start the Camino Frances journey, and we already have our credential or pilgrim's passport, but we will get it stamped, our very first stamp. Along the way you have to get a stamp, and most albergues or bars or cafes will give you a stamp to show that you stopped there. And you have to get one a day. Once you get to Sarria, or 100 kilometers out from Santiago, you have to get 2 a day if you're walking. But in the pilgrim's office, we will also pick out a shell. And the significance of the shell, they say, or there's multiple stories. One of them is in order to prove that you went to Santiago, you had to get a shell from the ocean. They also say that symbolism is in the lines of the shell, and they all reach Santiago. So here, for example, each of these leads to Santiago. And here's the pilgrim's office. So I think I forgot to say, but the whole reason for the credential or the pilgrim's passport And the stamps is to just kind of show, you know, your proof of why, or of how you did it and that you did it. And then you can, when you get to Santiago, get your Compostela, which really becomes like a, oh, there's Alex, like a souvenir. But it's just a documentation that you did it. There's all kinds of people that do this from all over the world. And we hope to meet and make lots of friends. Isn't this just a cute little town?
We're in Saint Jean Pierre de Port. This is a traditional gear shop. It's kind of like a very, very small REI back in the United States. We're not going to do a gear video, but I am going to say that whatever gear you choose, make it light and test it. There are so many pilgrims that end up on the Camino who have brand new gear they have never tested. It doesn't fit right. It's too heavy. They end up dumping stuff, paying a lot of money to replace it. Please go through your gear. Just make it as light as can be. Melody and I are running with one change of clothes, what we're wearing, and we have one other change of clothes. Shells are on our packs. We're ready to go. Come on. To my wife and our Camino. here we are looking out over Saint Jean, Pied-de-Port, France, which is at the base of the Pyrenees Mountains. Saint Jean actually translates to foot of the pass, which is, again, at the base of the Pyrenees Mountains. Melody and I will start tomorrow, the 28th of September, which also happens to be her birthday, and head up over the Pyrenees. We're actually going to spend the night tomorrow night in the Pyrenees at a place called Orison. But we wanted to talk a little bit about why we're vlogging or attempting to vlog. We would like to have a record of our honeymoon here. We also would like to have our friends and family join along with us, which includes a special person in my life. Malachi is his name. He is my little brother. In the Big Brother, Big Sister program, Malachi and I have been matched as Big Brother, Little Brother for over 4.5 years. I'm so proud of him. I'd like for him to be able to join me on this, so it's another reason I'm stepping out of my comfort zone with this social media stuff. I'm not normally doing this. All right, we're looking out over Saint Jean, Pied-de-Port, France, a traditional starting point for the Camino de Santiago. It is 800 kilometers from here to Santiago de Compostela, about 500 miles. Melody and I have a plan to do about 325 miles from Saint Jean to Astorga, which is just past Leon. That's an average of somewhere between 13, 14 miles a day. Some days we'll do a little bit less. Some days we'll do a little bit more.